Welcome to Healthy Talks with my healthcare lady, Letitia Jackson, and I have my wonderful co-host here, Darnell Jackson, with me today. Say hey, babe.
Hey, co-host.
And y'all, I'm so excited. You are all in for a treat. We have the magnificent Chasi Jernigan with us today. I'm so excited, you all, for her to join us. Y'all, I've been knowing Chasi for some years. And just thankful that she's here with us. If you've been seeing our podcast, you've been watching our PR on social media to make me look good, that is Chasi Jernigan. She is the GOAT. She is the GOAT, y'all.
I'm flattered. The GOAT.
Yeah, she is the GOAT. So she has so many different things going on for herself. She is known for blogging over like 90,000 followers on blogging. 90,000 followers from blogging. That is amazing. Not only that, she was also a Zumba instructor. She lost over 100 pounds organically, you all. The first plus size Zumba instructor. Okay, amazing. Not only that, she is a model. She model clothing. So what I'm saying, I'm here by a superstar today. So I am so excited, but I'm not going to prolong this. I want you all to get to know Chasi and her journey along the way. So Chasi, you have the floor. Tell us about yourself.
First of all, I'm thankful to be here. I'm normally behind the scenes, but now I'm on the front line today, so I'm flattered to be here. I'm grateful to be here. But nevertheless, I'm Chasi Jernigan. My government name is Chastity. A lot of people don't know that. I took the TY off, and my mama was like, I like how you just changed your name. But I was like, it's cool. So I'm known by Chasi Jernigan. I've been in Tupelo for a very long time. I got married at the age of 21, and me and my husband came to Tupelo. He's originally from Tupelo. We've been married for 17 years. I was kind of behind the scenes for a while, and then I came out after I lost over 100 pounds.
Wow.
Started a body positive dance movement here in Tupelo, where I just wanted to encourage people to love themselves beyond size, because as women, we have so many other things to worry about and to think about: the house, the home, raising kids, taking care of our families, to where a lot of times when we're not a certain size, we beat up on ourselves. So I wanted to break that stigma to show women that as plus size women, you're still worthy, you're still beautiful, and all of the above. And that birthed out a digital movement of mine, which was called In Mascara, where I really push women to work out and be beautiful beyond size. That platform has grown tremendously. So humble to be able to even do it. It was something that I just thought about out of the blue. Never knew God would even be able to use me to that capacity. But I'm thankful. I have 2 boys, one 15, one 8. And hey, we're just walking in purpose.
Walking in purpose. So y'all hear, she got a lot of things going on. So I know that takes a lot, to be able to pursue and thrive and everything you have put out there to accomplish. But I want to go back. So you said that you've been here for how long now?
I've been in Tupelo. Right now I'm 38, and I've been here since I was about 21 years old. So that's a good minute, probably like 15, 16, 17 years. Around the same amount of time that I've been married, I've been here in Tupelo.
So how was the move like? How was the adjustment like coming to Tupelo?
If you don't know, I was originally born in Decatur, Alabama. That's where I was born and raised. I went to school at the University of North Alabama, and that's where I met my husband, and we moved here. And so moving here, it was a lot. It was way different than anything that I ever experienced growing up. With the skirts, the going to church, the no earrings, that kind of thing. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, but it wasn't that bad, and so it was different for me. It was definitely a culture shock moving. It definitely was a culture shock.
So when you say you grew up in Pentecostal, I gotta go there. You grew up in Pentecostal, and you said you moved to Mississippi, Tupelo, and it was a culture shock. What was different about Decatur from when you grew up in Pentecostal from here now?
Well, growing up in Decatur, we were Pentecost, like they taught the Pentecostal doctrine, the apostolic doctrine, but we, as a youth growing up, we didn't have to wear the skirts and no earrings, and I had never saw people like play basketball in skirts, and when I moved to Tupelo, I saw people play ball in skirts and swim in skirts and stuff like that. I had never ever saw that before in my life, so that was more of the culture shock for me. I was like, man, this thing is deep, and I was like, wow, it was definitely a culture shock. And also marrying my husband after we got married, him being Pentecostal and then having to take up on those things, like next I was the one playing basketball in skirts, and having to swim in skirts, and just a big culture shock, and really an identity. It caused me to have an identity crisis. It was tough, put it like that, as a 21-year-old moving to a city and being stripped of my identity from the ministry. It was tough, definitely.
Wow. Stripped of your identity from the ministry. Wow. So I know your husband, he's a minister, and you all also have had a church. So tell me more about that. You said you were stripped from your identity, and now you all have your own church.
Well, after that, being in ministry, going to churches and stuff like that, where I was really never enough because I wasn't from Tupelo per se, kind of ostracized in the church because people thought that, I moved from, a lot of times when you move somewhere and you come somewhere new, people feel like you're the devil, and it was nothing like that. It was just, I love God. I knew who God was, but just ostracized because I wasn't a part of what they considered to be right and holy. And so anytime somebody come in new thinking different, then you automatically the devil because you think different. But nevertheless, we made it through that whole situation, and my husband launched his own ministry, and that ministry was more so, he taught the apostolic doctrine, but it was more non-denominational, where we kind of, we believed the apostolic doctrine, but we didn't force people to come to church looking a certain way.
All right. Darnell, you have anything you want to say?
No,
As you've been a pastor,
No, I'm just listening.
You're just taking it all
I'm taking it all in right now.
So my question is, so you having the type of experience at such a young age, how did you thrive through it all? How did Chastity find her identity back? What did Chastity go through to find herself to help you become who you are today?
Well, after all of that, first of all, once I remember coming to Tupelo, I remember stripping everything off, the earrings off, the makeup off, and still not being enough at the ministry that I was at. Like, Can I serve on praise team? No.
Wow. So you were told that?
Yeah. Like,
wow.
Y'all marriage ain't gonna last a year because we don't know you. You know what I'm saying? We don't know where you came from. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Those in the ministry, in the whole church.
Wow.
But nevertheless, through it all, we left, and I remember not even knowing who I was because I took so much, everything that I had learned growing up, I didn't even know who I was anymore. Like I had took off the took off the pants, took off the earrings, took off the makeup, and I remember going home and my mama crying, and she looked at me and said, look, you don't have to do any of that. She said, God don't care about none of that. Wow. That's what she told me. And I remember not even knowing how to dress. Like I grew up loving fashion, loving makeup, loving all of these things. And now I didn't even know how to get ready anymore without thinking something was a sin. Everything, I put on a pair of earrings, you scared. It's trauma. It's really, it was a traumatic experience. And I remember I made a secret blog where I just had journaled. It was like a journaling entry of talking to God and just kind of learning how to be myself and telling God that I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know who I was. I didn't even know how to get dressed without thinking that I was going to hell. Like,
wow.
I didn't know. And so I remember through that, I was blogging under a secret name, and so many people began to resonate with the story. Like, I've been through this. I was in the Amish community, and this happened to me, and I grew up like this, and I understand your story. And that's what made me create the public blog and begin to really live my truth and start from scratch, kind of building my brand and learning to love me all over again.
I remember when you started your blog. I remember it was something new to the area.
Yeah.
And no one was doing it. And when I say you was being very bold in what you were doing, how was that like? Chasi have found herself. She identified who she was. She's getting herself back. You coming out of the church. You're blogging. You're being bold. You're wearing makeup again. You're wearing lipstick again. Oh my gosh, you're wearing certain clothing again. How did you thrive through the criticism? Now, I'm sure the criticism was there.
Definitely. A lot of criticism. I remember doing Zumba when I started my Zumba class. I remember going out and people would be like, y'all going to hell because y'all dancing over there in that church.
Wow.
I'm talking about just flat out bold. I remember also getting inboxes from different people like, you know, I see y'all over there doing yoga. You know y'all going to hell. You know. You know, think about you trying to operate in purpose and you can't do nothing right. Like, everything you do, you going to hell. Every single thing. So eventually I had to really just be delivered from people. I knew when I walked by, they would say something. I knew once I started posting online, they would say something. But I prayed to God that he would deliver me from people because I knew that he had purpose for me in the marketplace. And a lot of people talk about purpose in the church, but it's purpose on the outside of the four walls of church. And I knew that God had called me to be a marketplace leader. And that's what I had in my mind. Like, I'm gonna completely ignore the criticism and overperform.
All right. So being delivered from people, so you went to God. This is something real serious, y'all, because I too have went through something where I had to be delivered from people or what they thought about me because I'm doing something totally different that's not used in the four walls of the church, you know. And so what was your process like? I know that you went to God and you prayed, but what did you do to help you to get over it, to say, no matter what, I'm still going to do what God has me to do?
The number one thing is the support I had was tremendous. My husband, he, you know, first of all, you know, he get on my nerves, but I'm going to go ahead and give him a little shout out. I mean, he get on my nerves. But,
she said it, I did.
But I'm going to give him a shout out because for my husband to be in so much religion and even want to marry me, knowing that I wasn't a part of where he was from, everything that he was doing, it took courage to even do that, you know.
Wow.
It took a lot of courage for him to choose me as his wife, knowing that the set of people he was worshiping with only wanted you to kind of marry within that sector of people. And so it took a lot of courage for him to even step out and say, I want to marry you. And I thank him for that. And so he has always been my support. You know, even when things got rough at church and people weren't treating me right, he said, you know what, we're leaving. It took courage for him to say that, especially being in a ministry where, you know, he was related to a lot of people. It took a lot, it took a lot of courage. And so he's always been my support system, and he is very courageous. And going through all of that, he would tell me, you know what, Chasi, forget what people say. You know, forget that. Go do it. He was the person who would give me that extra push that I needed. And I know that without him, I wouldn't have been able to do half of the things that I'm doing today. Had it not been for my husband pushing me, even with Zumba, going to be a Zumba instructor, you know, dancing in the ministry, him pulling up the carpet at our church. We had carpet in the church. He believed enough in the Zumba business and the Zumba passion that I had that he pulled the carpet up at the church. Him and my two sons created a dance floor so that we could dance there. And if it hadn't have been for him, I'm telling you, it wouldn't have happened.
So having a great support system.
A great support system.
The importance of having a great support system to where someone's in your inner circle is going to encourage you along the way to lift you up. Even when you want to give up, that person is there to push you and holds your hand. Absolutely. That is very, very important. So you hear that. Being delivered from people. That's what we have to do.
Yes.
You have to be delivered from people. We get so stuck on people going to say about you, how they feel about you. They may even come and tell you those things. But if you know what your purpose is, you got to continue to push forward. That's what Chasi just did from what I heard.
That's right.
So by you going to Zoom, I remember I actually went some good Zoom classes, y'all, and Chasi was on it, okay?
You was a faithful member.
She was on it. Now, I remember you saying how Zumba was a ministry for you.
Oh, yeah.
So can we talk about how you went into Zumba and how it became a ministry for you? How did that work out?
Well, when we started to dance, first of all, people would come in and be like, she the instructor? You know what? I'm good. I know I got this. And so they wouldn't be able to keep up. And so it was a ministry because it taught people that you can't judge a book by its cover. Wow. And it also was a ministry because people would come in broken, talking about how they didn't love themselves because they were plus size, and how, I'm talking about just self-esteem issues. And so it began to turn into prayer. It began to turn into mentoring. It was a sisterhood. The class was more of a sisterhood, and it grew so much to where I had to turn people away at the door.
Wow.
I had to turn people away. I could not fit everyone in the building. It would be times we would be jam-packed inside of the church. And it began to also be a part of our outreach ministry and restoration and empowerment ministries. And so that's the thing. When it comes to ministry, you have to be creative. And even though people feel like it may be something that God ain't told them to dance in their church. So many people joined the ministry from Zumba. So many people decided that they wanted to walk with Christ from Zumba.
Wow. So you found your purpose. Despite what people thought about you and said about you, you found your purpose. You allowed God to continue to use you to where you became this awesome Zumba instructor. And you still, in your Zumba class, led people to ministry, led people to Christ. So sometimes you have to realize that a ministry can be anything that can lead people to Christ if you're doing it for the right purpose, for the right reasons.
That's right.
And so I feel like sometimes people are not used to the norm.
That's right.
Like, this is how it normally goes traditionally. But I'm learning myself that you can go out the four walls and you can speak amongst the masses and touch so many people's lives.
That's right. A lot of times people feel like if it's not something that has already been done, then it's not of God. It's the same way Jesus in the New Testament, the Pharisees, and how people thought that, he wasn't who he said he was because he had a different method. A lot of times when we have a different method, people say it's not of God, when really it's all God,
right.
Okay.
Wow.
So my question is, Miss Jernigan, after that you have been through what you have been through, are you healed?
Oh yeah.
Is there? How did you come past that healing? How did you get past? How did you get beyond? And for those places or those people that hurt you, have you forgiven them and moved on?
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
I have definitely forgiven them. A lot of times I would want to post a Facebook status to be like, first of all, let me just say this. When you go through something like that and you see the people out in public and you remember that hurt. But what happened, God started to elevate me in Tupelo. And different award ceremony, I would win awards and I would be in the room with people who have hurt me or people who have witnessed my hurt. And I realized, you know what? You don't have to get your lick back because God is so much stronger than you. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, when God spin the block, he do it in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
I was a girl who grew up in poverty, a girl, like Letitia said, who people thought wasn't going to be nothing. My mama had me at 16. Then you come to the church for healing and you get beat down on, but yet God still have you in these rooms.
Yes.
You realize you don't have to say nothing. They already see. You see what I'm saying? And so that gave me healing to see that God will put me in a place with all the people who hurt me. It's almost kind of like, how can I explain it? It's almost like a Joseph situation. Like, you know, you've been sold into slavery, you've been all of these hurts, but the whole time you knew God was with you.
Right.
And you know in your heart that God is with you, so you can't help but to be healed, because when it all come out in the end, you still came out on top. And the people who did you wrong, you having to help them now. That's how Joseph did. At the very end, he at the very top, and his brothers, here come his brothers. Right?
So,
you know, you like,
let me get this. The people that talked about you, kind of dogged you out.
yeah.
You in turn had to round and help those
Oh,
people
absolutely.
and minister to them.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's amazing.
They come to me. How can I set up a blog? It's something that I would want to do. You know, and these are people who at first said that you know, it may have not been of God. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's a Joseph situation, because you hurt me. First of all, God take what the enemy meant for evil and he turned it around for good anyway.
He does.
So everything that happened, it was meant to hurt me. It was meant to crush me. It was really, everything that happened to me happened so that I wouldn't be blogging or doing Zoom, but the enemy wanted to crush my destiny through ministry. See, this is what happened also when people get hurt in church and they stay out of church. That's what the enemy wants you to do.
Come on.
But through church, I was still healed. Even today, God's still working on me through ministry. Because people are people. Human beings are going to always hurt you, because humans are humans. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, everything that the enemy meant for bad, God turned it around for good. The same situation with Joseph. His brothers sold him into slavery. At the very end, he was the one who had to help them out.
Yes.
And it was the same way in my life. The people who betrayed me and did me wrong at 19 years old, didn't even know who I was, didn't even give me a chance. Didn't even give me a chance. Man, that's crazy.
Wow.
These saved people.
Wow.
With skirts and no earrings and all of that on. Didn't even give me a chance. God spin the block every time. And when he come back, he show you that the people you really mistreated, those were the ones. Like Jesus, he was the chosen one. He was the Messiah. But they did him wrong. Not saying that I'm the Messiah. Like that. I'm not like that. But you get what I'm saying.
I do.
This is getting heavy.
Wow.
It is getting heavy, but this is really, really good. This is what it's about.
Oh,
you
my
know?
goodness.
This is what it's about. You know, we're telling our truth. We're telling some things you have to endure, because people do see Chasi is thriving.
Oh, absolutely.
She has just so many things going on for her, but no one knows what she actually went through.
No
one knows
story.
the story behind it. And that's what it's all about. Everyone have a story.
Everybody.
To help you get to your destination.
Yeah.
So you cannot give up because you're going through something. It's just your journey. So you can help someone else out.
Every time.
Every time, yes.
Someone else out.
You mentioned you've gotten several awards. I remember that where you got a top 40 under 40, one of the first Black African American.
I was the first one to get the 40 under 40. I was the first one to get the Mud and Magnolia Influential Woman Award. And all of these awards was from doing something outside of, it was, digitally. Let's say digitally.
Okay.
Because that was different.
Right.
You know, all of these awards was from doing something not out of the norm. It wasn't everybody that was in the room was there because of their job, or they were there because of their status, or what they've done for their church. I was there from something that an idea that God gave me to do online.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Not just an idea. A vision that God gave me put me in the room with people who were awarded for Fortune 500 companies.
Right.
Wow.
That's blowing my mind right now. So they let you know automatically, write the vision, make it plain.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it looks different, you still can be awarded Zumba class and a blog. That blows my mind.
Well, that goes back to you saying you walking in your purpose.
Absolutely.
When you truly walking in your purpose, can't no one do anything about it because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
You're doing what you are ordained to do.
Absolutely.
And no matter who may like it or who don't like it, God's in place. Can't no one take that
That's
from
right.
you.
And God will put his hand on it and he'll show you that his hand is on it.
All right.
You know, I remember my husband starting a ministry. People would say, oh, what make him feel like he can start a ministry?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so hard for people to walk in their purpose because there's so much criticism. So much criticism. That's why I commend y'all for doing what you're doing. It takes a lot of criticism. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to step out and operate in your purpose.
Right.
It take a lot.
It does. I'm going to say this. So, like, of course, you've been working with me, so you know what all I have been going on. And so, I've been on different platforms speaking, and it's really different because you don't see a first lady speaking outside of the four walls of the ministry.
Right.
You don't see her speaking amongst the people on the bigger stage.
That's
the bigger
right.
people. You don't see people in ministry making a significant amount of money.
That's right.
It's really unheard of.
That's right.
And so, I've heard certain things like, you serving the devil to get ahead.
Oh, man.
I heard certain things like, that's not of God. I heard certain things like, how can you do both? Are you going to lose your faith? Or are you going to serve another master by what you're doing? But people don't realize what God has given me is my ministry. It is my purpose. It's to reach the masses in a manifested way.
Wow.
In a manifested way. So I truly understand because, going through the process, it's scary because you don't know. And the whole purpose, I want to serve God and I want to do the right things. I want to reach so many other people who need to be reached, who need me to help me fulfill their purpose in life as well. So I can relate to you on that same type of level, but in a different industry.
Because reaching people, you can reach the masses. I hate to say this, but the masses are not coming to church.
You're right.
So how do you reach the unchurched? You don't reach them in church.
You gotta go out there.
You don't reach them in church, do you? It's the same thing that my husband has told people since he took a break from ministry. He's still doing ministry every day. People like, hey doc, why you not in the pulpit? He said, look, my clippers is my pulpit. I prayed for more people in my chair.
Exactly.
Than I have in ministry because the unchurched are not coming to the church.
Right.
So we got to go out and do outreach. But outreach is different from going out witnessing. You can go out and witness. That's a form of outreach. But also blogging is a form of outreach.
True.
Cutting hair is a form of outreach, playing basketball at Front Street, ministering to the people out there is a form of outreach.
Right.
But what we do is when people don't do outreach the way we do outreach, then it's of the devil.
Well, typically, and I want to just chime in on that, Jesus even said to go out.
Come on.
And compel men. So when he said go out, you got to go out and talk to people. Go out and minister to them. Whether you playing basketball, whether you blogging or whatever gift that you have, you use it for the glorification of God.
That's right.
And, because you'll be surprised how many people, as she was saying, she's blogging, how many people talk back to her, say, hey, I need you to pray for me, or hey,
all the time.
Where's your church at? Or,
all the time.
Can I come to church with you? Or things of that. We had a young lady who came to our church, and the first time there, she said, thank y'all for not judging me. And I was like, I never heard, she said, I feel love. Thank y'all for not judging me. So it's good that we can put ourselves in these type of places, in these type of positions, because we're doing the same thing that they done in the day. They did fish fries.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They passed out tracts.
Yeah.
Now we just utilizing different things.
We utilize social media.
We utilize social media
That's
to
right.
get the word across.
That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah, it's good that we're doing this.
Social media is the number one way of communication today.
Absolutely.
Social media is number one way of communication today.
Wow.
So that's how you're going to reach the masses. So because God has given you a certain type of ministry or assignment doesn't mean mine's going to look like yours.
That's absolutely right.
But as long as we have the same goal and same focus on what we're trying to do, it's going to manifest.
That's right.
So now since you blogged, you had your Zumba class, and so now we mentioned you have over 90,000 bloggers or followers. Tell me, am I saying it right?
You are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you feel knowing you've reached over 90,000 people through your blogging? That is amazing.
It's really surreal sometimes because it was something that I was just doing just to heal myself, you know. My confidence wasn't where it needed to be once I started blogging, and but God began to heal me as I helped others. And that's what people don't understand. You don't have to be perfect to go out and minister or to go out and witness or to go out and help somebody. God will transform you in the midst of you picking somebody else up. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened for me. God transformed my self-esteem, my confidence. He transformed me just by blogging and helping other people. Even in my broken state, he healed me by still helping others. And I'm so grateful for that.
Wow. So I hear healing through the process.
Healing through the process.
Healing through the process.
Healed, and they say all the time, I've heard a lot of pastors say that the lepers were healed as they went, I think. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. That's what they said. As you go and operate or as you move, that healing will come. Like not just sitting in a depression like a woe is me, oh I've been hurt, oh I've been broke down, talking about it all the time. But no, get up and go and move and go help somebody else, and you'll realize that your healing will come just by, like you said, through the process.
That's good.
Now, I want to ask this question.
Okay, come on.
And this is healthy talk. Now, and for clarity reasons, because some might say, oh, she's talking against the Pentecostal Apostolic Church. No. But do you to this day resent the church? Is there resentment there? Is there, I don't want to have nothing to do with that, but tell people where you are now.
Oh man, no, I don't resent the church at all. I love the church.
Come on, talk to me.
I love the church. I'm telling you, the church has been there for me at every level of my transformation, and it's because of the church being patient with me. Like I said, that I am the person that I am today. I thank God for the church. I don't resent anybody. Mm-hmm. I've been completely healed, and to this day, I'm a member of a church. So, you know, church hurt didn't keep me outside of the church. But also, something that's crucial in all of this, what we have to learn is, they say hurt people, mm-hmm. which is true. And hurt people are sometimes in the church.
That's true.
That's true.
You know, and broken people are in the church, so they break other people. And we have to remember also that we have to give grace to people.
Yeah.
Because God, like the word says that the same measure that you forgive, that's how God is going to forgive you. Mm-hmm. And I want God to forgive me of all my sins because I'm not perfect. Okay. And so therefore, I forgive. I'm not resentful. I'm thankful for the ministry. I'm even thankful for that because it was all a stepping stone to my destiny. I'm thankful for everything that I went through. I'm thankful for the ostracized, and I'm thankful for all that. Because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't know how to love a person who just came off the street into the ministry, looking for a safe place. Because that's what we do. We go to church looking for a safe place. And I'm thankful that I'm able to minister to people in that capacity.
One thing you said, I have to bring it out. You said, church hurt did not stop you from being part of the church.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Church hurt did not stop you from being part of the church. I hear so oftentimes, oh, they hurt me, so I don't go at all now.
I'm not going.
I'm like, okay, but it's the people It's not God.
It's not God.
People.
It's the people.
It's the people who hurt you.
It's the people.
But you gotta forgive.
You gotta forgive.
You gotta forgive them.
Because you miss out. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And if he can have somebody in the ministry distract you, then you'll never ever get to your destiny in God, you know? And so you can't let church hurt say, oh, I'm not going to church anymore.
Right.
No, you just found another group of people who the word says that love covers a multitude of sins. The word also says that it says that love is the greatest fruit of them all. So when you go to a ministry and you feel loved, hey, that's it. That's it. Because the church is supposed to love. But hey, supposed to. Supposed to.
And I'm a pastor.
But I ain't trying to step on Pastor Darnell's toes.
Hey.
I know that he said today, the girl said that she felt like she wasn't judged.
Yeah, she came, she visited.
She visited and she didn't feel judged. And then that's a beautiful feeling, because, that wasn't my testimony. You know? I was judged on every side. Nobody even knew me. I grew up as a church girl. You can ask anybody in my family. I was a church girl, good girl, growing up. Always in church, sung in the choir everywhere. But when I came here, just because they didn't see it, it didn't matter. Like, that's tough.
So do you believe, or do you think that if you had never healed, never forgave, that you would be where you are today?
That's a good question. No, because I would be steady worried about when you're not healed and you want to talk about things that, like I'm talking today as a testimony.
Right.
All of this is the reason I feel like I am the person I am today. If I wasn't healed, then I'd be talking about it, gossiping about it, and constantly murmuring and complaining about it, but not doing anything about it. And, murmuring and complaining, all of that keep you going in the same little circle. Right. You'll never be healed if you complain all the time. And so, I know I'm healed. I know for a fact, had I not been healed and delivered, I wouldn't be where I am today, because I will always be focusing on what they got going on,
right,
or what they doing, or how, and every time they fall, I would be excited about it, and I wouldn't be able to even focus on what I got going on, because I'd be too caught up in what they're doing.
Another thing too, I'm thinking, if you going through something, you can't heal from it. Whatever ministry is within you can't burn out.
That's right.
So now you are hurting those people who actually need your help.
That's right.
So you have to let it go. You have to heal. You have to move forward. You have to. So moving. So I'm trying to get your story out a little bit. Okay.
It's okay.
So from blogging, I understand that you are now a model. So did you ever see yourself modeling? And tell me more about that. How'd you get into modeling?
No, I never saw myself modeling at all. What happened through blogging is different brands would want to partner with me. I didn't even feel like I could be a face of a brand at all, because we beat ourselves up so much we don't realize how beautiful we are and how beautiful people see that we are. And different brands will start to reach out and ask me to model their clothing and pay me for that. Those kind of partnerships. I didn't even know. That's another thing. When you do things that are different, income come in ways that you never even felt like. I never knew you could even make an income from blogging. Like, I never knew that. That's just something I was just doing, just flying by the seat of my pants, just doing something. And so what happened was brands started to fly me out to different places, New York and all of these different places, to represent their brand and to wear their clothes and to show that, Black plus size women are confident.
Wow.
And so that was truly a blessing as well, because it also created income for me. And that's something that I've been doing now, is wanting to teach other people how they can make income from different brands and working with brands and stuff like that.
So this is what I'm hearing. So you, through your healing process, you found your purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
And through your purpose, other opportunities presented itself to where now you're making money off the purpose that you're walking in.
Absolutely.
And you're touching other people's lives on top of that.
Yes. It's crazy how it works.
Her purpose is now being monetized. That is, that's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy. So I remember we actually went to Denver and we actually stopped in Memphis at a store. And a young lady knew exactly who you were. I was like, I'm with a superstar.
No.
She's like, oh my God, I know who you are. I follow you.
Yeah, it was cool. Those moments are always really cool because you just, you don't realize it.
Right.
I look a hot mess. It's always when I look a hot mess too.
It's always when it happens. It's always when it happens.
It was
it's
a
always
blessing.
when it happened.
It was a blessing.
And so from that, I see that you have you've had different things in magazines. Like I think Eloquy has used some of your photos, and what other brands have actually used you?
I was really shocked to be the first Black woman on the front of Mud and Magnolia magazine in January here in this area, in the North Mississippi area. That was beyond.
It was amazing.
I think about a Black plus size woman on the cover of a magazine in Mississippi that's hitting businesses and hitting the whole North Mississippi and Ole Miss, Oxford, all of these places. It just blew my mind. God is incredible.
He is.
He's incredible.
So, Chasti, so you done been through the burn, you done thrived through the burn, through people putting you down, but you continue to thrive. So if you could tell anybody something today, no matter what they're going through, whether they're trying to find a new church home or they're in their careers or want to be an entrepreneur, what could you tell them? Give them some advice.
The number one thing I would want to tell you is through it all, God is with you. I know you're going to keep saying, she keep talking about the story of Joseph, but so many times in my life, I felt like I had been sold by my friends and the people closest to me. Joseph was sold by his brothers. Wow. I felt like I was sold by some of the people who I considered my ride or dies. Sold. Wow. Joseph ended up in a pit. He was in slavery. He ended up in so many places, jail and all these different places, all because of a dream. The dream that he had. And I'm getting a little teary-eyed over here because it's crazy that your dream could put you in so many just bad places. All he did was told his dream to somebody, to his brothers. Wow. Not even somebody, he told it
to his family.
He told it to his brothers,
which is his family.
And ends up being sold because of his vision, his dream. And through it all, I just want you to know that God is with you, because God was with Joseph through it all. Through him being sold into slavery, God was with him. When he was in Potiphar's house and the woman lied on him, God was still with him. When he went to jail, God was still with him. And he ended up witnessing to people who, at the end of the day, God was with Joseph and God is with you. Through it all, through everything you've been through. When I think about myself as a young girl, growing up in the projects, a single mom, in the area where my friends getting pregnant at 14 and 15, and you just considered another number. But making it out of all of that, I could just see avenues where God would have friends who were going to church pick me up, and my aunties and stuff would pick me up and take me to church, and my mom would drop me off and take me to church, and I could just see God moving in my life even as a kid. Through it all, I know that God was with me, and to this day He with me. And so I want you to know that through it all, you may be been burnt in the church, you may have been burnt by family and friends. You may feel like you're in a pit right now. You may feel like you've been hurt in the church. You may feel like you are in jail and nobody cares about you. Through it all, know that God is with you. He's with you. He's with you, and it's all going to work out. In the very end, you're going to come out on top. You're going to come out with the victory. You're going to come out with your hands up high, because I have the victory today through it all.
Through it all.
Through it all.
Man, through it all. So if you're going through something, don't know what to do, remember God He's with you. He's by your side.
He's with you.
He is with you. I'm a testimony, a witness of it. He is with you through it all. No matter where you are right now or your path, don't give up. Yeah, this is healthy talk. This is why I love healthy talks. Your past is what makes you who you are. What you go through is what makes you who you are. Like she said, no matter if it's the church hurt, if friends or family have turned their back on you, continue to thrive and move forward. Continue to walk in your purpose. And if you don't know what that purpose is, continue to just do what you love, and your purpose will find you.
Oh, yes, it will.
And when it finds you, you walk in it and you own it. And be proud of who you are. Man, this is good. This is good, Chasi.
And I want to say real quick, if you feel like you're different, because sometimes when you're different, you are a what's the word I'm looking for? A castaway, because you're different. God still has an anointing on your life. He still has purpose for you. If you feel like you're the one in the circle, that you're different from everybody, keep going, keep pushing. Know that God is with you. You're unique for a reason.
Yes.
God made us all unique. That's why I love Letitia so much, because I feel like a lot of our story aligned. I feel like we are supposed to be in purpose, walking together in this season. You don't even know when she reached out to me and asked me to start working with her, so many attacks came on me back to back to back to back, to where I knew that we were supposed to be connected, because there was just so much warfare.
Right.
It was so much warfare hitting me left and right. I was like, man, this got to be a God-given assignment. But through it all, know that God is with you and that God loves you.
Amen. Amen.
You got something, Danielle?
No, I enjoyed the segment on today. I just want you real quick, Chastity, to talk to those people who say, that's why I don't go to church, because of this. I was in the church, they done this. And the pastor did this, and the first lady did that, and the deacon did this. And nobody said nothing to them. But talk to those people who say, that's why I don't go to church right now. Talk to those people.
Well, I've realized that we have no patience when it comes to people hurting us in church. Now, people can hurt you anywhere else. They hurt you at McDonald's, you still gonna drive through Nick tomorrow and get that same cheeseburger.
Right about that.
You know, they misuse you at Kroger. They take your money at the bank. You know, you going back. I feel like we give up on the church way too easily, but we give everybody else, even that dirty guy who won't do right, you give him 1,000 chances.
She said it. I did.
You give him 1,000 chances, but you give
Talk about it.
You give up on the church. And I can always say that it's also because of the simple fact that the enemy will come to kill, steal, and destroy. So he wants you to leave the church immediately and miss out on that good word and that good empowerment you get every Sunday. But I just want you to know, just like the guy who did you wrong, your friends who did you wrong, who you give a second chance, the church is made up of people, and we're all not perfect. We're all flawed in some type of way. So I just want you to know that God has so much for you, but being aligned in a ministry is where your purpose can really come out.
Yes.
Because I know my husband was a pastor, and part of my speaking skills and a lot of things, the church developed me. And I feel like the enemy may not want you to get that development that you need, and so you easily get frustrated and walk away. But God has so much for you, and you do need to find you a church home. No matter how much hurt you've been hurt, you need to find. I have a church home to this day.
Yes. And
I've been hurt in church. So you need to find you a church home and of like-minded people, and fail not to assemble yourself.
Come on.
All right. Well, I love it. So, before we end our segment,
okay,
I want to say, Chasi, I want to thank you again for coming on and sharing your story, sharing your truth, sharing your experience. Because again, I hear that the road wasn't easy, but you endured. You stayed the course. You allow God to continue to use you as you thrive. So as you hear, God used her to thrive. She allowed God to use her while she thrived. You understand that? So I hear she kept God first through the process.
Through the whole process. And
she allowed him to help her thrive. So if you not a believer, you need to get to know who he is. because he is your saving grace.
Amen.
He will help you through the process no matter where you are.
Through it all.
Through it all. So Chasi, I know we're about to end, but I know you have this class coming up. Can you tell us more about your class and why did you want to have it and what can we expect from it?
Okay, you guys know I've been blogging for about 8 years now, and I also been teaching Zumba for 10 years. And the number one way that I grew my my Zumba class was through social media. I also grew my blog through social media and using different social media strategies. And now I have partnered with Letitia, which has inspired me tremendously to help other people learn social media. Also because everybody is pulling on me to do their social media and I'm only one person. So it's like I don't have the capacity to help everybody do their social media. So what I want to do is teach others how to do it so that they can make some more income or create a side hustle and learn. Also, if you have your own personal brand, learn how to grow your brand through social media alone. And so I'm having a social media workshop where I will teach you how to get the right followers, how to create the best hashtag strategy, niches. I have a workbook that I have already created online, an ebook on my website that we will go through. And this course will be July the 9th. I only have 6 more spots available because of the beautiful venue where we're having it at. I only had enough capacity for 10 seats. And so I've already sold 4 tickets. And I'm telling you, this class will sell out and you will not leave empty-handed. What I have done to grow my own personal brand, I'm going to give you that same formula to grow your brand. And so this class is July 9th. If you want to register, you can head over to my page, Facebook, Chasi Jernigan, and find the last post that I posted and click the link. You're welcome to join. It's only $197. The reason that it is $197, you may feel like, why is it $197? That's expensive. Over the years of me learning trial and error, I have spent a lot of money learning the info that I am about to share with you, and I cannot just give it away for pennies on a dollar. And so therefore, if you want to invest in your business, then you'll see that it's a small chunk of change. So yeah, I hope to see you. Only got 6 spots available.
So go ahead and get your tickets. We'll add the link here on our social media platforms. You can get there. I'm gonna tell you, I actually went through the workbook myself when we first got started.
Yes, you sure did.
I'm gonna tell you, it's really good. Some things I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I need your help, but it's really, really good. It helps you to think about what you want to do, what direction you want to go in.
Absolutely.
So again, I say she's a true GOAT. She's the go-to person. She's who helps me make me look good on social media.
Absolutely.
She's doing all that strategies and etc. So thank you for joining us. Please, if you have not, go to our Healthy Talks page on Instagram and like it. Also on our Facebook page, go and like it and follow us. You'll see more content to come. And anything else, babe, you want to say?
Got nothing else to say.
All right. Remember, this is Healthy Talks. Promote being healthy, happy, and insured through conversations. Bridging the gap between entrepreneurs and career-driven individuals. Knowing the importance of the spirituality of life, financially, emotionally, physically, and coming together and talking about it. Remember, you are my healthy loves. Y'all have a great day. Bye.